Hello, welcome back to Gordon's channel. And in the previous lesson of the to-do list series, we have created a very simple to-do list where we can add new entry, mark it as done, and delete it. And now we will try to upgrade our to-do list further by adding a new piece of information, category. So first of all, we need a second input box. So let's go to what we have from the previous lesson and create a new paragraph and an input box. So now we have two input box and let's add some indication on which input box is for what purpose. So we will use the placeholder attribute. So this one is enter new to do and the second one is for enter category. Now we have the placeholder and we can go to our to-do list app, the JavaScript part to add the JavaScript. So first of all, we need to have a variable for the element and we need to get the variable. So the element will be document.getElementsByTextName. And for the input, all the input elements, I want the second one in my second element. All right. So the index is 1 for the second. And here we will need to get the value, add a second input value variable to store the value for the second input element. And we'll empty the input element. And for the input value 2, we will want to put it into the list element, the text of the list element. So here, let's add something to it. Input value 2, and we can separate them by, say, a hyphen, example. So let's try it. So now we will have a problem because once we add something, it will add before we have input the category. Because here in the event listener, we are listening to the change event of the first input element. When our app is simple, we want to be convenient to our user. But now when we have two input box, we will need to upgrade our app. Upgrade the input interface by adding a button. So this button will be add. Now we should change to add event listener on a button. Click event listener on a button. And now we should define this button, a variable, and we need to get this button. So here, we need to get this button. Now in your page, you may have more than one button variable. And for example, if you have a navigation bar, you will have a menu button. So instead of using get elements by tagging button and first, we should use more specific way. For example, add an ID called add button to the button. So now we will, in the JavaScript part, we will use document.getElementById. And the ID is add button. Now let's try it again. Now if we have input a new to-do list entry, for example, prepare presentation, which is a work category. Now if we click the add button, it will add a new entry, which is prepare presentation with the category of work. So this is how to use the get element by ID. And if I have input a second one, for example, buy some tomato, which is belongs to personal. And now if I have more than one entry, you can see that the layout is not very good because if it is later, if all the category is in one column. So let's change to use a table. So what in our table should be here, table with rows and some columns. So here for the first column, I will have checkbox. For the second column, I will have my to-do list. For the first column, okay, for the first column, I will have my category, and the fourth column, I will have my delete button. So let's try it. Now, you see that they clumps together and looks like a sentence in the set of table. So let's add some border to it. TD have a border of 1px solid back. Now they have a border for each cell, and if this spacing is not enough, give it some padding. Right, let's give it some padding. And in our HTML, what we want to do is the same. And in the callback function, now it's not listening to the change event, so let's give it another name, add entry, for example. And this function will be renamed as add entry because this is more meaningful. All right. And now in the add entry, what we want to do is add a new row to it. So instead of creating the list element, we will do something else, which is add a new row. And when we want to add a new row, first of all, we need to get the table. Element by, okay, for example, I want to get element by ID, so let's go to here and add ID to the table, to do table, for example. Now let's go back here and get element by ID to do table. Now after getting the table element, we will need to create some tr element, which is the new row, and we will use document.createElement tr, and we will need to append this tr to our table. But append child tr element. So this is what we will how to create a new table, how to create a new row in the table. And for each row, we want to create some cell. The first one is the checkbox cell. The second one is the to-do list cell. The second one is the category cell. And the fourth one is the delete cell. So this four is what we need to do. So let's do this one by one. The first one is let's create a input element, checkbox element. Because input element, the name is used. So let's create a checkbox element, document.create element, and the element type is input with a type of checkbox, right? And this checkbox will be inside a TD, at TD element 1, b document.create element, document.create element, TD. And the TD will have a child of the checkbox. And TD will be a child of the element, element 1. So here we shouldn't use TD, we should use TD element 1. Right? So this is how to add the checkbox cell. And actually we can try it first. For example, if we type something, see we have add a new row with the checkbox cell. So now let's go to add the to-do cell first too. So we will need to create a TD element, second one, and document.create element. Copy it. Okay. And for the second TD element, it will have an inner text of input value. line is and after assigning its input inner text, we will need to append it as a child of the TL element. So this is append the TD element 2 to the TL element as the child. And for the category cell, we are doing something basically the same. So let's copy it. So the first TD element will be a element with the tag TD, and the third element, the inner text, will be the second input value. And we need to append it as child to the row. For the first one, the delete cell one, we will create a span with the inner text of delete and the class name of material icon. So here we will create a span. So if we want to uncomment full lines, we highlight them and control slash. And now this span element should be a child of a TD element. So do this. We will have a fourth TD element, which is a TD, and the fourth element will have a child of this span element containing the delete button, and we will append the fourth child to the TL as a child. So let's try it. Sample. Sample code. Personal. Perfect. So now we can create a new row with the input, and now you can see that actually these are not working yet because we have not added the event listener to them yet. So let's add them one by one. We don't need this anymore. So for the delete item, it should be added to the delete button. So here for the span element, it should have a event listener, which is the click event listener, and it will trigger the delete button. Delete item, and coupling is false. Semicolon. Now instead of removing the list element, we should remove the row element. So be the out element dot remove. Let's try it. Yes. Delete. It works. And now I want to demonstrate the classList API. So if I have a checkbox element, I want to add an on-click listener to it, which is mark as done, and it as done. So I will go to here, the checkbox element, to have a click event listener. Dot add event listener. Click. And the callback is done. Pause. And here in the done, instead of last time we used, okay, the style name, it should add a class name style strike to the, so strike should be here. Strike should be the text declaration line through, but instead of using a flag, we can have a new class API, which is on the row element, the class list. We can use the toggle method. So toggle is between on and off alternatively. So it will have a class called strike alternative. And as you notice that we don't need the flag anymore. So let's move this flag. So let's try it. Example, X, X, and if I click the checkbox, it will have the strike on this two. And if I have a second one, two, two, I have second one, and I click it, it will unclick it, it will remove the strike on the right row. So this is how to use the toggle API. And thirdly, I want to introduce a way called an element called datalist. So, for example, if here, when I have to input the category each time, but I may have only several categories, for example, work or personal, so I can add a suggestion to the user. So here, the element called data list, datalist. Okay? And for the datalist, we can have options to it. Option, option. Yeah, the value can have personal, and we can have another option, for example, work. All right. So we have different options to it, and how to tell which input box to use this list. So the way is to add a ID to the list. For example, a category list, and here in the our target input, we will add a attribute called list, and we will point to the data list. I is ID. So now after saving, we can see that a whole file file, it will have a suggestion for as personal or work. For example, book view is personal, and for example, create a spreadsheet work. So it will suggest something for us, but it can also do something else. For example, buy tomato. It can be housework. It can also allow us to input new category. So this is the power of datalist element. So I hope you like this lesson. If you have anything not understanding, please ask in the comment section. And if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you in lesson 5. Thank you. Bye bye.